Beneath Nevada's shimmering lights and desert dreams, a silent crisis is unfolding. The 2025 housing crash has hit the Silver State hard, turning once thriving cities into eerie landscapes of for sale signs and empty cul-de-sacs. From luxury suburbs to industrial hubs, home values are plunging by 15% to 23%, inventory is exploding, and desperate sellers are slashing prices just to survive. Entire neighborhoods are stuck in limbo, overbuilt, overpriced, and overlooked. In today's video, we're revealing 10 Nevada cities quietly becoming modern ghost towns, where hope has faded, equity has vanished, and the American dream is slipping through the cracks. Number 10. Carson City. Carson City, the charming capital of Nevada, was once seen as a stable real estate refuge. Its economy, largely supported by government jobs, retirees, and spillover from the more expensive Reno Tahoe area, kept its housing market steady until the pandemic-era boom. By mid-2022, the median home price in Carson City had climbed to an eye-watering $520,000, a sharp increase from around $385,000 in 2019, representing a 35% surge in just 3 years. But that growth was largely unsustainable, built on a frenzy of remote work relocations, speculative investments, and ultra-low interest rates. Fast forward to mid-2025, and Carson City is now showing all the warning signs of a market unraveling. The median home price has plummeted to $440,000, marking a steep 15.4% decline from its 2022 peak. Even worse, homes are sitting on the market far longer, averaging over 90 days on market, compared to just 22 days during the peak boom. This is a red flag for a city that once had a tight housing supply and strong buyer demand. Inventory is ballooning as well. Listings have increased 28% year over year, with unsold homes piling up across newer subdivisions. The deeper issue? Carson City's economic base hasn't expanded to match its housing growth. Government employment is steady but not booming, and the pandemic-era wave of Californians has slowed to a trickle. With mortgage rates hovering above 7%, buyers are simply priced out. Many who bought at the top now face negative equity, and with wages stagnating, homeowners are increasingly choosing to list their properties, hoping to cut losses. Neighborhoods once bustling with construction are now quiet. You'll see more for sale signs than families moving in. In 2025, Carson City isn't just cooling, it's teetering on ghost town status as confidence fades, demand collapses, and prices tumble. Number 9. Fernley. Fernley, once a rising star in northern Nevada's real estate scene, is now confronting a dramatic and painful reversal. Located just 35 miles east of Reno, this city became a logistics and industrial magnet, attracting companies and workers eager to escape Reno's soaring home prices. Between 2019 and 2022, Fernley's median home price exploded from $295,000 to $430,000, a staggering 45% increase. Builders raced to meet demand, filling the desert with rows of shiny new subdivisions. But by 2025, the boom has curdled into bust. The median home price in Fernley has now dropped to $370,000, marking a 14% decline in just over 2 years. On the surface, it might not sound catastrophic, but the undercurrent tells a deeper story. Homes are lingering on the market for over 90 days, unsold properties are stacking up, and inventory levels are rising at an alarming pace. New construction hasn't stopped either, which is creating a glut of empty, unsold homes that further drags down prices. Fernley's industrial growth, centered around warehousing and distribution, hasn't kept pace with its overbuilt housing supply. Job creation has slowed, especially as major employers scale back hiring amid economic uncertainty and higher operating costs. Many buyers who flocked here in the boom are now underwater or walking away. Investor demand has completely dried up, especially with 7% plus mortgage rates making rental cash flow nearly impossible. Entire neighborhoods once buzzing with promise now resemble empty shells, vacant driveways, overgrown yards, and dark windows. Local businesses are feeling the pinch as foot traffic declines and workers relocate. What was once Fernley's greatest strength, rapid, unchecked growth, has become its Achilles heel. In 2025, Fernley isn't thriving anymore. It's a cautionary tale of overbuilding, overconfidence, and a market running headfirst into the wall. Number 8. Laughlin. Laughlin, Nevada, a small resort town nestled along the Colorado River, was once considered a peaceful alternative to its glitzy cousin, Las Vegas. It thrived on tourism, retiree living, and affordability. During the 2021 to 2022 housing boom, Laughlin saw a surprising surge in demand. Home prices climbed from around $210,000 to a peak of $280,000, driven by Californians, remote workers, and real estate investors hungry for low-cost alternatives. But by 2025, the music has stopped, and Laughlin's housing market is echoing with silence. The median home price has fallen to about $245,000, a 12.5% decline from its peak. Inventory is growing fast, and the average days on market has soared past 80, nearly tripling from pandemic-era levels. What once felt like an untapped gem now feels overexposed and underwhelming. As inflation continues to squeeze consumer spending, tourism, a key part of Laughlin's economy, has slowed significantly. Casinos, river cruises, and local shops are seeing fewer visitors, and with that, fewer potential homebuyers. Investors who once hoped for quick flips are backing out. Rising insurance premiums for riverfront properties and growing maintenance costs have pushed many out of the market. Combine that with 7% mortgage rates, and Laughlin's once shiny appeal has dulled fast. Many homes are being listed again, often at prices below what sellers paid just 2 years ago. What's more haunting is the visible stillness creeping into neighborhoods. Streets once busy with snowbirds and retirees are quieter than ever. Restaurants close early, and boat docks remain unused. While not a ghost town in the literal sense, the economic and emotional lifeblood of Laughlin is fading. The river still flows, but the optimism has dried up. Laughlin in 2025 is a resort town searching for its lost identity, and it might not find it again. Number 7. Henderson. Henderson has long been seen as the crown jewel of southern Nevada, affluent, family-friendly, and immune to the volatility that plagues Las Vegas. With manicured neighborhoods, high-end retail, and a robust retiree population, it felt untouchable during previous downturns. In mid-2022, the median home price peaked at a jaw-dropping $600,000, fueled by wealth migration from California, surging stock portfolios, and a white-hot housing market. But by 2025, even this polished suburb is showing deep cracks in its foundation. Today, the median home price in Henderson has fallen to approximately $490,000, a painful 18.3% drop. While not as flashy as Vegas, Henderson's price correction is just as brutal, if not more so, because it's happening in a market once considered stable. Homes are sitting unsold for 115-plus days. Inventory is up 30% year over year, and sellers are slashing prices or backing out entirely. Many luxury properties now linger on the MLS, with no showings and no offers. Affluent buyers are fewer in 2025. Rising interest rates above 7% have crushed affordability, even for high-income households. A $1 million home now costs thousands more per month to finance, scaring off those who once viewed Henderson as an easy upgrade. Add to that the retreat of California wealth and downsizing retirees, and demand has all but evaporated. The real damage? Psychology. Henderson was the safe bet, and now it feels like a broken promise. Empty homes line gated communities, golf courses look pristine, but there are no players. The outdoor malls still sparkle, but foot traffic is light. For a city built on image and prestige, the silence is deafening. Henderson isn't just cooling, it's shifting into a dangerous phase of market fatigue. What was once a symbol of enduring value is now a case study in how no city, not even the most luxurious, is safe from the storm. Number 6. Whitney. Whitney, a modest community on the east side of Las Vegas, has quietly become one of the most troubled real estate zones in Nevada's 2025 housing crash. Often overshadowed by flashier neighbors like Summerland or Henderson, Whitney attracted working-class families and first-time buyers looking for affordability just minutes from the Strip. During the pandemic boom, Whitney's median home price jumped from $240,000 in 2019 to nearly $385,000 in 2020-2022, a shocking 60% increase. But that growth, it turns out, was built on a shaky foundation. As of 2025, median home prices in Whitney have dropped to $320,000, reflecting a 17% decline from the peak. Homes are sitting on the market for over 100 days, and price reductions are becoming the norm, not the exception. This isn't just a cool-off, it's a freefall. Whitney's core demographic, middle-income families, has been hit hard by rising mortgage rates and inflation. A 30-year mortgage on a $385,000 home at today's 7.2% interest rate costs over $2,600 a month, pricing many locals out of the market entirely. The investor pullback has been just as brutal. Flippers and out-of-state landlords who swooped in during 2020 to 2021 are now retreating, flooding the market with distressed listings. Vacancy rates in rental properties are rising, and for sale signs are multiplying along streets that once bustled with activity. Whitney also lacks the insulation of Henderson's affluence or Summerland's prestige, making it particularly vulnerable to economic shocks. Local businesses are feeling the slowdown too. Strip malls are half empty, schools are under strain from funding drops, and construction has ground to a halt. Whitney's 2025 downturn isn't just about prices. It's about people leaving, dreams shrinking, and an entire community teetering on the edge of ghost town status. And for many, recovery feels nowhere in sight. Number 5. Sparks. Sparks, Nevada, once the fast-growing twin to Reno, is now watching its housing market unravel at breakneck speed. Just a few years ago, Sparks was the poster child for Northern Nevada's growth. Between 2019 and 2022, its median home price rocketed from $310,000 to $450,000 as e-commerce and tech-related manufacturing boomed and buyers priced out of Reno flocked east. New housing developments mushroomed overnight. But in 2025, the dream has derailed. Now, Sparks' median home price sits at about $376,000, a 16.4% decline from its 2022 peak. The most painful part? Inventory has surged over 35% year over year, and average days on market have surpassed 100 days, meaning sellers are stuck with homes that no one wants. What happened? The root of Sparks' crisis is oversupply. Builders flooded the market with new construction, confident in endless demand. But job growth hasn't kept up, especially after several large logistics firms paused expansions or moved operations out of state. Coupled with 7% plus mortgage rates, affordability has collapsed. Monthly payments on a median-priced home are now nearly $2,800, putting ownership out of reach for many local residents. Investors are fleeing fast. Many who bought in 2021 to 2022 expecting continued growth are now underwater, and flippers are bailing out at a loss. Rental units are also sitting empty, driving down prices and increasing vacancies across the city. Entire blocks of half-completed homes feel eerie, with streets quiet, lawns unkempt, and no sign of the bustling families developers once promised. Even local shops and restaurants are hurting. With fewer residents and slower cash flow, businesses are reducing hours or closing altogether. Sparks' optimism has turned into anxiety. A city that expanded too fast now finds itself choking on its own growth, desperately hoping for a turnaround before the silence becomes permanent. Number 4. Summerland. Summerland, the crown jewel of Las Vegas suburbs, was never supposed to crash. With its tree-lined boulevards, pristine golf courses, and upscale shopping, this master-planned community was designed for wealth, stability, and prestige. From 2019 to 2022, home values in Summerland soared from around $525,000 to a peak of $750,000, a mind-blowing 43% increase. Buyers included Californians fleeing taxes, wealthy retirees, and cash-loaded investors eager to stake a claim in Vegas's most luxurious zip codes. But in 2025, even Summerland is reeling. The median home price has now fallen to $620,000, a dramatic 17.3% drop from its peak. Listings are lingering for 120-plus days, and inventory has ballooned by over 30% year over year. Some gated communities are reporting more than 1 in 6 homes sitting vacant, a chilling sight in what was once the hottest market in Nevada. Why the downturn? For one, Summerland's ultra-high valuations couldn't be sustained as interest rates spiked. A typical mortgage now costs $1,000 more per month than it did in 2021. Even affluent buyers are balking. Second, the rush of Californians has slowed dramatically, and many who once planned to relocate are backing out. Third, investors are retreating, liquidating second homes and short-term rentals. The result? Silent cul-de-sacs, empty driveways, vacant luxury listings with price cuts of $100,000 or more. The community still sparkles on the outside, but the energy is missing. Retail foot traffic is down. Golf courses aren't booked solid. Even real estate agents are whispering the word correction. Summerland was built on a promise of long-term value and unshakable prestige. But in 2025, it's learning a painful truth. No neighborhood, no matter how upscale, is immune from the relentless forces of a housing crash. Number 3. Reno. Reno, once a booming tech alternative to Silicon Valley, is now facing one of the most dramatic real estate downturns in Nevada. Between 2019 and 2022, Reno's median home price skyrocketed from around $390,000 to a peak of $620,000. A staggering 59% surge fueled by the influx of Californians, remote workers, and major tech investment. With Tesla, Google, and Apple expanding their presence nearby, optimism soared, and so did housing demand. But in 2025, that story has flipped. Today, Reno's median home price has dropped to about $500,000, marking a sharp 19.4% decline. And it's not just the price. Inventory has exploded, up over 45% year over year, and homes are now sitting on the market for 130-plus days, a shocking figure for a city that once couldn't list homes fast enough. Buyers have vanished, and flippers are desperate to unload. The tech sector's cooling has played a major role. Several high-profile startups have paused operations, laid off workers, or relocated entirely. Combined with mortgage rates over 7%, this has priced out many local residents. Monthly payments for a median home now exceed $3,600, more than many households can afford, especially with stagnating wages and rising inflation. Vacant homes line previously booming neighborhoods like DeMonte Ranch and North Valleys. Spec homes remain unfinished, and downtown high-rise condos are seeing record vacancies. Even the once thriving arts and restaurant scenes are slowing, hurt by the exodus of young professionals and the downturn in tourism. Reno's transformation into a tech oasis was supposed to secure its future, but overconfidence and overvaluation created a fragile bubble. In 2025, Reno isn't just slowing down, it's stumbling, and the fallout is shaking the city to its core. Number 2. Elko. Elko, the rugged northeastern Nevada city long known as the state's gold mining capital, is now grappling with an unexpected real estate crisis. For years, Elko's housing market was relatively insulated from national trends, driven by stable mining jobs and a strong sense of local community. But during the 2020 to 2022 boom, home prices surged from around $240,000 to a peak of $350,000, a 46% rise driven by a mix of speculation, rising gold prices, and migration from other parts of Nevada. Now, in 2025, that golden era is fading fast. The median home price has fallen to $280,000, a steep 20% decline from its peak. Homes are sitting on the market for over 100 days, and inventory has grown 30% year over year. Unlike larger cities with diversified economies, Elko is feeling the effects of a single industry downturn in real time. The collapse in global gold prices and instability in commodity markets have led to mass layoffs in the mining sector, directly impacting homebuyer confidence. With few alternative industries to absorb the economic blow, Elko's population is starting to shrink. Longtime residents are leaving for better opportunities elsewhere, while new buyers are scarce. Entire neighborhoods now sit half-occupied with unkempt lawns, boarded-up windows, and for sale signs gathering dust. What's worse, many of the investors and second home buyers who entered Elko during the boom are now trying to offload properties at a loss. Rental demand has plummeted, vacancy rates are up, and landlords are slashing prices just to stay afloat. Elko's strength has always been its deep roots and community pride. But in 2025, the city feels more like a shadow of its former self. The boomtown vibes are gone, replaced by economic uncertainty and a haunting question. What happens when the gold runs out? Number 1. Las Vegas. Las Vegas, the city of lights, jackpots, and boom-bust cycles, is now ground zero for Nevada's 2025 housing crash. Once again, Sin City is proving that what goes up must come down. Hard. In the pandemic-era frenzy, home prices surged from $320,000 in 2019 to a staggering $480,000 by 2020 mid-2022. A jaw-dropping 50% increase driven by a tidal wave of Californians, remote workers, and short-term rental investors. But in 2025, the party is over. The median home price has crashed to $370,000, a massive 22.9% drop, and the bleeding hasn't stopped. Inventory has more than doubled year over year, and homes are now sitting for an average of 140-plus days on the market. Sellers are panicking, buyers have vanished, and investors, who once fueled the rise, are now dumping properties at a loss. The damage is multifaceted. First, rising interest rates above 7% have obliterated affordability. A monthly payment on a $480,000 home now exceeds $3,900, pricing out even mid-level buyers. Second, the Airbnb gold rush has turned to dust. Oversupply, regulation, and cratering demand have crushed short-term rental profitability, leading to a wave of distressed sales. Third, job instability, especially in hospitality and construction, has dried up buyer confidence. Neighborhoods like Centennial Hills and Mountain's Edge now feel eerily quiet. Massive new developments sit partially completed, and entire rows of brand new homes remain unsold. Builders are offering deep discounts, but even that isn't enough to move inventory. Strip-based economy? Not immune either. Tourism is steady but not enough to support housing demand at these levels. Las Vegas has seen crashes before, but this one is deeper, broader, and potentially longer lasting. The illusion of never-ending growth has shattered. In 2025, Vegas is no longer just a casino town. It's a high-stakes warning sign of what happens when a housing bubble bursts, and there's no one left at the table.